Hey y'all, I wanted to share about a platform called Smart Learning Suite. You've also probably heard of it referenced as Smart Lab or Class Lab. It is currently Nearpod's biggest competition. It is from the people who make Smart Board. So if you have never had a Smart Board or used Smart Notebook, you might not have heard this before, but they are moving away from that into this type of online platform stuff. I have a district membership, but I'm also a private member with my personal Gmail accounts. So that's what I'm going to show today. It is free to get started, just like Nearpod, but you can also upgrade yourself or maybe ask your district if they have anything. You have to create an account. I prefer to sign in with Gmail because I'm going to show about the Google integrations, but there are also Microsoft integrations as well. Basically, once you get logged in, you have a dashboard and you can create an activity from scratch or you can import from Google, and that's what I am going to do. One of the things that you have to do is add connectivity between your Smart account and your Google Drive. So you have to add the Google add-on. Smart Learning Suite. It's something that you can just Google and then you add it to your Google Drive and you'll get the connection here in Smart Learning Suite. And then also in your Google Drive, when you're on a slide and you want to open it, you can go to Open with Smart Learning Suite. So this is one of my OutSchool slide decks. It's really boring, but I'm just going to use it to guinea pig off of some of the things that you can do in Smart Learning Suite. Once they open it in Smart Learning Suite, it's going to be pretty plain, but then you can start adding activities into it. One of the good things about Smart Learning Suite that I find is my personal favorite is that you can switch from teacher-led to student-led back and forth with just one press of a button. Where Nearpod, you can only set it up as teacher-led or set it up as student-led, and you can't change it throughout the lesson. So as I'm editing here are some of my slides. You can change the slides themselves, kind of like how you would in Nearpod change it to draw it. You can make it a handout, which is just individual, or you can make it a workspace, which is then groups. You can automatically make the groups, or you can just have it randomly assign groups. Then there are a bunch of different types of activities you can do. You can add YouTube content, you can add a page. There are different templates that are interactive, like responses and shout it out. These are for students on individual devices. You can use this without individual devices and just use it as presentations. But then there are different game templates you can use. Flip, fill in the blanks, matching, memory match. Monster quiz is just like a fun way to spice it up. And they also have ready-made things that you can just throw in there. Exit ticket, entrance ticket, 3, 2, 1, 6-word summaries. They have math manipulatives that you can insert and different graphic organizers that you can just throw in that are already done for you. So when you finish editing this, let's say I've made this a handout activity and I'll make this a workspace. You can preview it. They have drawing tools and an eraser tool. The drawing tools are nice because you could pick any color. Workspace is a lot more limited than the handout. In a handout, they can then add pictures too. So I'll flip over into a student view at a moment. The good thing about this is that when you actually bring your students into Smart Lab, they only have to log in once. They don't have to have a Smart Lab account. You can add them using a code. So I have my name and my class ID. They go to Hello Smart and they enter a class ID. Mine is going to show up with my other class ID with my district account, but they will hit join a class or join as a guest and they'll type in that ID. So I am just going to add myself here. Whoops. I'm going to add my ID first and then myself here. and then that will bring me to this. So this is start as a handout. When you have a district membership, the only big difference at this point is that you can have more lessons stored, but here are things like adding a text tool, picture tool. They can search through Bing, or they can upload a picture that they've taken somehow. And then on the teacher ends, this is what it originally looks like. On the teacher ends, the teacher can, as I'm going to switch back from student to teacher, the teacher can turn things on and off as the lesson is going. So you only have one lesson at a time, not like Nearpod where you have a couple lessons going and a couple different codes. You just have this one lesson. Self-paced in this is difficult because students need their own accounts. So this would not be something for self-paced. It would definitely be more for live learning. Once you've started this, this is the only thing that they have with that code. The great thing is once they've learned in, the lesson pacing up here can change. So you can change it from teacher to student, and then students can navigate through this at their own pace. Theirs will look different. It'll say start instead of student progress. I don't have any students logged in other than myself, so I haven't drawn on it to show my progress. And you can also make it a teacher handout so that you can model it. In the middle of a lesson, you can also toss in some of these different things like a whiteboard. It will throw it into the students, and then anything that you've written on here, let's just say hi, will show up for them as you're modeling something. You can also use this to set up a problem and then make it so they are able to write on it, turn it into a collaboration activity right in the middle of your lesson. When you're done, you can end the lesson. You can edit right in here. You can make a copy of it, and you can share it with other teachers to give them a copy of this. Like I said, if you share it with students, it's going to require them to sign in with a Google or Microsoft account, not with the code. So that's the only downturn there. But when you end it, it ends for them and they can't go back into it. If you've created this from your Google Slides, it will save it in your slides as a Smart Learning Suite file. Your students can't access it to share it, but then you'll have your original slides file in order for you to post that in your learning management system as a recap or something like that. So that is a short little crash course on Smart Learning Suite. I have been using this interchangeably with Nearpod because there are some benefits and drawbacks to this, just like there are to Nearpod, but I feel like it's a little bit of a sleeper hit. Most people think that it can't be used with Google and Microsoft because it's from the Smart brand, but this is what Smart is working towards and away from their Smart Notebook stuff, since it's very limited in what you can use it for. Thanks for watching.